Hello and welcome back to another episode of cedh Bling Builds. Today we'll be going over Kinnan Bonder Prodigy, aka Fatboy Kinnan, aka Nikocado Avocado. And what this Simic Chunk Master wants to do is spam from the top of the deck and non-human creatures and special them onto the board, presumably to eat them. And what makes Kinnan, interesting, is that he can go infinite with Basalt Monolith, Basalt and a pepper with your steak, and yeah. So a bit of a disclaimer: I personally am not a fan of this deck, right? Because the idea of the deck is like it's sort of like all over the place, right? I have to try to special summon from the deck my Basalt Monolith, right? I have to try to special summon from the deck creatures. I have to special summon from the deck. Tutor up sometimes instants, right? But because of the fact that the combo with Basalt will only net infinite colorless mana, that's kind of just like the first part of your combo. And then you ask yourself, like, well, Kinan's just like a worse Thrasios. And why not just run Thrasios X? That's a good question. That's a legitimate question because Thrasios is also in the deck. So why not just run Thrasios X? Ask the Nikocado Avocado mains. Don't ask me. For me, it's just a matter of picking up a handful of cards to make this deck. Uh, so it's not like Kinan's my pride and joy. But enough hate on Nikocado Avocado and all of his chins. Let's get into the deck. And so we have Kinnan Bonder Prodigy, and of course Basalt Monolith. The two go together like Takis and Mukbang. And we have Mirage Mirror. So yes, there is a infinite with Mirage Mirror and Basalt. It's a matter of holding up priority twice with your Mirage Mirror. Once it will copy the Basalt, and the second time it's going to copy like preferably a dual land that doesn't ping you. And then bam, right there you'll have your infinite colored mana to do Kinnan things, which include like special summoning Thrasios from the deck, and then from there just kind of drawing the deck, and then maybe winning through like a Thassa's Oracle or some other means. Moon Silver Key, it's in this pile because it's a fairly new card, which helps to tutor up your Basalt Monolith. Yeah. Oh, so a bit of a warning ahead of time. I don't have a Trophy Mage in the deck, which is okay, because I have a Transmute Artifact in the deck. I know it's a really expensive piece if you're not proxying cards, but since I own the Transmute, I just find the Transmute better than like the Trophy Mage. And also, I've seen online some other lists. There's a cute like line with shared summons. Shared summons is a 200 drop instant speed green tutor. I think it's like 3 and 2 green, and you get to add 2 creatures to your hand from the deck. And so you would normally add like a Trophy Mage and a Phyrexian Metamorph, or a or the 2-drop one, a Phantasmal Image. And so the Trophy Mage will hit the board. Presumably, you're going to end step the shared summons. Okay. Then the turn comes back to you. You drop the Trophy Mage. Trophy Mage will get one of the 2 pieces, either Mirage Mirror or Basalt, which is both 3 drops. And then you'll clone it to then make another copy of Trophy Mage to get the other 3-drop. This is a lot of mana you're asking. This is like really clunky. Not a clunky. It's a clean line, but like the amount of mana that you have to throw into it on that turn is really asking a lot. So that's not in the deck. Moonsilver Key is a nice way to find one of your pieces. Well, no, the Basalt Monolith. The problem is finding like a Mirage Mirror. But if we're able to just make the infinite colorless mana, that's fine. And I'll show you why soon. Isochron Scepter. Of course, Isochron, Dramatic Reversal, they go hand in hand. Like chicken nuggets and mukbang. I'm not going to give up on the Kinnan Nikocado avocado. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. That's him. That's him. Tide Spout Tyrant. Okay. So if you don't know Tide Spout, he goes infinite with mana positive rocks, right? To just bouncy, loopty, whoopty, scoop, bouncy, wouncy, ouncy, mana positive rocks. And now that's fine and all. You're most likely going to make colorless mana without a problem, right? There's so many mana positive colorless rocks. The problem I have with this deck is, finding the mana positive rock that makes color, whether it's Mox Opal or Mox Amber. And so as we continue, I'll point these things out. Of course, Tide Spout has a new little brother, right? In the form of a Hullbreaker Horror, which is cool. A little bit more versatile than Tide Spout, but and let's look at a Tide Spout for a second. He's a 7-drop, so if you know your commanders, if you know your decks, Hullbreaker is a fantastic Neoform Eldritch Evolution target for a Tasigur. And so I wanted to feature those decks first, because there's like 2 or 3, there's so many different ways you could build Tasigur. I wanted to do an entire series of all the different Tasigur builds. But if you think finding the colored mana for Kinnan is annoying, for Tasigur is even more annoying, because here you are, you Neoform the Tasigur, so you're getting rid of your legendary creature, right, for the Hullbreaker. So you better pray to God that you have the Opal on board or the Amber on board. And the Amber is a lot less effective in the Tasigur deck, because the Tasigur is now gone. You see what I'm saying? They're not legendary dorks or anything like that. So what do you do? Until I figure that out, I'm not a huge fan of the Hullbreaker in Tasigur. Hullbreaker doesn't bring Tasigur back to life. It doesn't put him back in the highest tier generals. Toxrill does, but now I'm going on a tangent. And that's for another video. So we can filter this colorless mana, no problem. With derpy creatures like a Stone Orc, Pack Beast. Once we have our infinite colors mana, we could filter that through and make mana of any color. And a Treasure Vault can achieve that well. And since we're in green, we could easily crop rotation into a Treasure Vault. Actually, when we go into the land count, Urza Saga, I feel like needs to be in this deck. I don't know why I haven't picked up my Urza Saga yet. I always forget about this card. Of course, we find Thrasios to continue filtering through the deck. Yeah, and then maybe just dropping a Thassa's Oracle. Or, once we have infinite mana, for a measly 2 green, you could give all your dudes, make them extra thick, right? With a finale of devastation, and just end the game from there. Let's also remember that we are currently, as of the making of this video, in a stacks heavy metagame right now. So Kenan has a way to deal with that. We'll find it in just a moment. And then there you are, Thassa's Oracle, easy peasy. What more can be said? So Drown in Dreams. What the fuck is Drown in Dreams? What is this card? Why not like a Blue Sun Zenith or something? Well, that's good. That's a good question. Drown in Dreams can't be tutored up with a Spell Seeker. That's annoying. But it can easily, again, for infinite mana plus 1 measly blue, you could take 2 players off the board. Stacks player 1 and stacks player 2. Goodbye. Just take them off the board. And then I guess you just deal with the weakest opponent from there. So yeah, Drown in Dreams. If this is the question, if you ask yourself, like, why are you seeing this more in other people's lists? That's pretty much why. To take 2 players off the board. Take 2 annoying stacks players off the board. Hopefully the one that gets milled doesn't have a random Titan in their deck for no reason. For no reason. You know how I feel about Titans. For no reason. A handful of creatures, which is why there's no Gaia's Cradle in this deck. There's no Gaia's Cradle in this deck. I think I just put in instead like another rainbow land. Yeah, so a handful of creatures. We have a handful of dorks. We have a Birds of Paradise, Arbor Elf, Fin-Torn Elves, Land-War Elves. I find myself playing with these dorks a lot more often, so I might upgrade them. One of these has like a really ugly old art, and then the other one has like the etched retrofoil art or some shit like that. Elvish Mystic. I was contemplating putting the oh god, I forget his name. The snow elf that makes a colorless. Only because I really desperately need 1-drops, so I can neoform them into the patchwork stone beast or whatever, Thrasios. I suppose the Thrasios is not as important. No, Thrasios is still important. So, you know, so yeah, I was contemplating putting the other 1-drop produce no color dork in here. We have an Elvish Spirit Guide, just to accelerate our play a little bit. And then no Simic deck would be complete without a Gilded Drake. Gilded Drake is disgusting in these decks because you could turn your dork into Mr. Steal Your Girl, right? The Drake comes in and he steals your girl. Eternal Witness for a little bit of utility. And then moving along to our counters package, we have, starting things off with our soft counters, we have a Veil of Summer, Unsubstantiate, Spell Pierce, right? I had to pick up a Spell Pierce. I had a Spell Pierce, and then I sold it because it got power crept. But now we're in this stacks heavy format currently, so Spell Pierce goes back in. Go figure. What is this? Is this spell? Miscast. Swan Song. Starstorm. Mental Misstep. Fierce. Guardianship. Because Kinnan will be mukbangy on the board most of the time. A Pact of Negation. And a Force of Will. For our draw package, we have a Gitaxian Probe. OG Brainstorm. OG Preordain. OG Ponder. Windfall. And of course, a Time Twister. Of course. Our tutor package. Here's where the tutor package. Here's where you could, by looking at the tutor package, you could start to understand what I mean. That the philosophy behind the deck is kind of all over the place. For me, I'm not a fan of that. We have just standard stuff. We have a mystical tutor, a worldly tutor, and pretty standard Simic stuff. Sylvan tutor, yeah. A crop rotation. A muddle the mixture to find our 2-drops. Right? We don't have the tutor for the 3-drops, but we have the tutor for the 2-drops. ISO Rev. A Merchant Scroll. A Solve the Equation. A Fabricate. So, Merchant Scroll is really strong in this deck because we have the X2 blue instant. We have a Cyclonic Rift in the deck. We have the Dramatic Reversal, right? So worth. We have a Fabricate. And then some special summon stuff. We have a Neoform and the Eldritch Evolution. Of course, the Finale of Devastation was earlier, part of a win condition. We have a Reshape, and we have a Transmute Artifact. Is Whir of Invention here? No Whir of Invention. I don't know why. Maybe in the 2-color deck, that triple blue becomes annoying to have to produce, regardless of the Convoke, right? We have a Noxious Survival for a little bit of recursion. And then our removal package, which is kind of shit for a, I keep complaining for a stacks heavy meta, but whatever. We have a Nature's Claim, a Chain of Vapor, and a Cyclonic Rift. Now, of course, you could make any changes that work for you. I would too, depending on the pods I play in, right? Maybe I might have to put in a Force of my Vigor in the deck, or drop maybe 1 or 2 counters to accommodate for these destruction spells. And then let's move on to the other half of the deck. We have our enchantments. We have Carpet of Flowers. Probably one of the last times we'll see Carpet of Flowers in this Carpet of Flowers, because it's getting the reprint, the foil reprint of Secret Lair. We have a Sylvan Library, a Rhystic Study. I'm not interested in the Secret Lair of Rhystic Study. I'm not even interested in the Judge Rhystic Study. I personally, I don't think Rhystic Study is like an amazing card. 3-drop in a competitive game, you might get a little bit of value. And then if you're Rhystic Studying like a casual against casual players, like they'll either pay, right? No problem, because what are they really doing? They're like drawing and playing the card from the top of their deck, and like, that's it. They're playing like one card a turn, and they have all this mana open, from all their cultivates and Kodama's regions. So I'm just not interested in a more premium version of a Ristic Study and a Mystic Remora. And then we have a Lotus Petal. Right? Some of our rocks, Grim Monolith. There's no Jeweled Lotus in here, not necessary. Mana Vault, Soul Ring. There's no power artifact, right? Because the Grim Monolith is in here. And so the power artifact goes infinite with Grim Monolith and Basalt Monolith. So that's something I might consider. Mana Crypt, Arkham's Astrolabe. There are a handful of snows, so we'll get some value out of that. And I think its ability goes plus with Kinnan on board. Arcane Signet. Fellwar Stone. I'm going to be heartbroken when this becomes a secret layer and everybody has like a foiled printed demand Fellwar Stone. Talisman of Curiosity. Simic Signet. Chrome Mox Opal. Right, so when you're doing Hullbreaker loops, like for colored rocks, Chrome Mox is not choice, and Mox Diamond is not choice. You have to go with Mox Amber or Mox Opal. So it's hard to find these things. Maybe Teleria West. Right, I had one a very long time ago, but I sold it. But this is something I could pick up again, no problem. Or maybe Urza's Saga is a little bit more versatile. Mox Amber. And then wrapping things up with our lands package. We had the Treasure Vault earlier, just to help filter our colorless mana. We have all 8, that's right, all 8 fetches. So I don't know if I should get the Ugly Simpsons art Prismatic Vista to match like the weird borders of the expedition borders. Something I didn't know. I don't know. I know that those Simpsons art expeditions aren't particularly like high value or anything like that. So that's what kept me away from it. We have 2 snow forests and 4 snow islands. We have a breeding pool. We have our shock and our duel. We have a rejuvenating springs, waterlogged grove. I'll always stick with the traditional border for the horizon and the I don't know what these are called. Oh, a battle bond lands, right? It's not for battle bond, but it's a battle bond land. Because this way they're just all matching. Right? When we complete the horizon cycle, before Armageddon, that too I will keep a traditional border. Yavimaya on the coast, little Painland, the Bark Channel Pathway, sure, why not? And then the best of the rest, we have an Ancient Tomb, Rainbows, we have a Gemstone Cavern, Command Tower, Mana Confluence, a Forbidden Orchard, Exotic Orchard, and a City of Brass. And there you have it, Nick Avocado in 2021. I'll do it again since it was so great the first time. Fatboy Kinnan. This deck is whatever. It's just something I have access to, so I guess I'll feature it. Maybe we have time for 1 more deck, 2 more decks before we do this all over again, right? In 2022, the new builds of Familiar Faces. Maybe we get some busted commanders in 2022. I want to do that Tassiger series. So I think I'm still missing like 2 cards from what would be in my Tassiger series. So yeah, let's see how it goes. If there's anything you want to see in the future, just leave a comment and I will try to put that together. And again, thank you very much. Goodbye.